Find horizontal and vertical asymptotes. Okay, the horizontal asymptotes is pretty much my end behavior. So in other words, the question is, what is the limit as x goes to infinity of big S of x? So that pretty much means as I go on to infinity, what will this eventually approach? Well, if I look at this, and I go off to infinity, this will take over this, and this will take over the rest of this. So in other words, all I need to do is look at these two things right here. So if I look at just those two things, I get 8x squared divided by 4x squared, which ends up being, that goes away, so it ends up being 2. So the limit as x goes to infinity of big S of x is 2. The limit as x goes to negative infinity of S of x. Now, if it is one of these rational functions, it will have the same limit going both directions, which means if I graph it, it's going to start at 2, and then it's going to do something weird, and then it's going to end at 2 right here. This means my horizontal asymptote is going to be at y equals 2. So there's my horizontal asymptote. Now to find my vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes are going to be where it's undefined. And where it's going to be undefined is where the bottom is 0. So I'm going to set this, the bottom. We're going to ask ourselves, where's that 0? That will be our horizontal asymptotes. I can divide everything by 2, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I get 2x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0, just to make my math a little easier. Then I can see either does it factor or can I use the quadratic equation. You can do either one. So I'm going to factor. 2 times 3 is negative 6. Two things that multiply to negative 6 but add to 1. So that's going to be 3 and negative 2. So you get 2x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 3 equals 0. 2x comes out of this first one, x minus 1. A 3 comes out of this, x minus 1 equals 0. So you end up getting x minus 1, and then 2x plus 3 equals 0. So my vertical asymptotes are going to be at x equals 1 and x equals negative 3 halves. And once again, that comes from the zeros of this right here. So recap, horizontal asymptote is going to be your leading term divided by your leading term. Your vertical asymptotes are going to be where the bottom equals 0.